Morning, folks. It is the 12th of May. Ironically, today would have been my grandma's birthday, and she died of lung cancer, which seems to be a theme in my family. So yesterday we were at the Roy Castle Star Awards, and what an incredible day it was. Absolutely incredible day. When I took the phone call to say that we'd been nominated for a Star Award, I was pretty convinced that we would be an also-ran. I thought it would be a nice day out, and I would be able to talk to you all about about the day and how we'd been invited up, and it would give me a chance to mention Neil's much loved page, which is neil.flewers.muchloved.com, and I thought it would give me an opportunity just to mention to people that we're still doing bits and pieces for the charity, although we've got nothing planned this year because of stuff going on in the family. So yeah, when I took the phone call, I thought we would be going as an also-ran. So how things have changed in 4 years. So this time 4 years ago, Neil was ill, and we felt in our hearts that it was lung cancer, but we didn't know anything about it. We didn't know what the prognosis might be, and we purposefully didn't look, because sometimes ignorance is bliss, and we think we had enough to cope with. So Leanne and I trotted off to Liverpool yesterday. We got there quite a bit early, and then then got lost because we saw the car parking sign about 3 times. We got diverted in the city. It was a bit of a nightmare, but we arrived in time for the champagne reception, and I think we scrubbed up pretty well, actually. Oh dear, I do. I think we scrubbed up pretty well. I think we did Neil proud, and we did everybody on Team Flewers proud. Sitting there in the room with all those absolutely inspirational people was amazing, absolutely amazing. And to hear the stories of other families like us, and to see some people who are surviving lung cancer longer term, it was pretty amazing. So when they went through our category, and our picture came up, the picture that we used for Team Flewers was on Neil's 54th birthday. And even now, it's really emotional talking about it. Because he said to me, I'm scared I'll not have any more birthdays. And I said, oh, don't be daft. Of course you'll have more birthdays. You'll absolutely have more birthdays. Don't worry about it. It'll be nothing. It'll be something, it'll be nothing. I think we're worrying about nothing. And actually, in my heart of hearts, I was already saying goodbye. Because I knew. I just knew that his time was short. So people get this idea that after the first anniversary of everything that things get easier. So here I am 4 years on, and I can still be reduced to tears by the memories that I've got. So just be assured that just because the first anniversary of everything has gone, the pain doesn't go away. You just kind of get used to it. You just kind of shoulder it, and every now and again, a grief ambush will pop out from nowhere and bonk you on the head, and it'll bring tears to your eyes. So yeah, we felt we were an also-ran at the Star Awards yesterday, and we were absolutely gobsmacked when our names came up, and it was announced that Team Flewers had actually won the category. And yeah, so 4 years ago, when Neil was sick, I never would have believed that. I mean, I never would have believed I could do the banking on my own, because Neil used to deal with all that. And I never used to think that I could cope with life on my own, but I've done all that. And one thing I absolutely would not have believed was that Leanne and I would stand up in front of all those people and receive awards on behalf of everybody. So Team Flewers isn't me and Leanne and Hayley and the kids. Team Flewers is each and every one of you who has given us encouragement, who's raised money, who's donated money, who's taken part in an event. We've had some people who have organised events, and yeah, Team Flewers is everybody. Actually, everybody who's watching this video right now, you are Team Flewers, and thank you very much for keeping Neil's name out there, for not forgetting what a great bloke he was, even though sometimes he was an absolute pain in the arse. Oh dear. Sometimes his sense of humour used to just drive me mad, and I used to think, oh, for God's sake, shut up. And now I'd give anything for him to be here and be winding me up. So thank you so much, everybody. I did say to my sister, and I mentioned this in the speech that I gave. I mean, I gave a speech in front of all those people last night. It was a bit garbled and a bit shaky, because I was so shocked. It never even occurred to me that we would win the category, and yeah, it never even occurred to me. So I was completely and utterly unprepared. But I said to our Tracy last week that in a moment of madness, I was going to put it on Facebook that I would do a skydive next, or that I would consider doing a skydive if we won. And then I laughed at her and I said, I'm glad I didn't put it out there, just in case we win. And blow me, we did. So I did mention in my speech, where I was just briefly talking about Neil and how things were. I did mention that I had said to Tracy that I would do a skydive. So everyone burst into applause. They thought that was great. I don't think it's great. So, but I did add that it won't be this year. It won't be next year. But yeah, I think probably my next crazy stunt for the Roy Castle charity, I will at some point do a skydive. I can't think of anything more frightening. I might die. Yep, I might die. I might actually die. Oh dear. Now here's a story for you. I don't know if you know about, if you've ever seen the film Private Benjamin, but there's a scene in, I think it's Private Benjamin, there's a scene in there where they're up in an aeroplane and they've got to jump out, you've got to parachute out, and Private Benjamin, I think, is the last one, and her boss in there, a sergeant whatever, is a bit leery, and he said, well, you either jump out or you stay in here and we have a bit of fun together. And I turned and said to Neil, oh my God, I'd be staying in plane. And he was mortified. He was like, what? You'd rather do that with him than jump out of an... And I'm like, I'd rather do anything than jump out of an aeroplane. So yeah, the thought of the thought of jumping out of an aeroplane, oh my God, yeah. So this would take some doing, and I think I would probably need to raise a minimum of £2,000. I think £2,000-3,000 before I would consider it. So yeah, just putting it out there that potentially the next thing that I do will be a skydive. Completely mental. So yeah, who knew? Who knew 4 years ago that that Leanne and I would be finding our way up north and receiving an award on behalf of each and every one of you who has donated and given your time. And who knew that we would have stood there in front of all those people and speaking in public to people, albeit garbled. Who knew? So life's full of possibilities. Those of you who know me quite well will know that I'm a spiritualist, and I've always been a spiritualist, but didn't actually find my way into the church until quite recently. And yeah, we do philosophy as part of our service. Talking about food for thought and stuff. And I think what I took away from yesterday was that we are stronger than we think, and we should open ourselves to possibilities, and we should open ourselves to the adventures of daily life and everyday life, and strive to do better and look further than what we think we're capable of. And yeah, certainly being in a posh function like we were at yesterday was way out of our comfort zone. It's not me at all, wearing a posh frock and all that nonsense. But I think we did all right. We held our own, and I think we did everybody proud. We did everybody proud. So thanks ever so much, everybody, for your donations. And just to remind you again, that Neil's Much Love page is neil.flewers.muchlove.com, and you can go on there and you can, if you've got any photographs of him, you can add them. If you've got any memories of him, you can add those. You can light a candle just to say, just popping by, buddy. It doesn't cost you anything. You can make a donation if you want. And yeah, just thanks ever so much, everybody, for all the work that you've done in raising money for such a fabulous charity as Roy Castle. Who knew? Who knew? Who knew?